Thank you. All right, thank you. Please, I have an announcement to make. Please, can you listen carefully? Ladies and gentlemen, please, if your hands are not busy. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if your hands are not busy, please can you help me celebrate them as I name them? Please help me celebrate Reverend Jimo Kanye and his beautiful wife, Reverend Mrs. Kanye, and also we have Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Katie Omorika. Please can we celebrate them? Celebrate them, please. Put your hands together for them. Thank you so much for coming, sirs and ma. We appreciate your presence here today. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all gathered here to celebrate Mama. Amongst us here are the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and all the relations, friends, and well-wishers. Some of you know her too well, and to some, not too well. But that's the essence of this program today. Right now, we want to appeal to every one of you. Can we focus your eyes on the screen? If you can see the screen, can you focus your eyes on the screen? We just want to give you a brief biography of our dear mommy who has gone to be with the Lord. So please, there should be a bit of quietness so we can listen to the audio even as we watch this video. And thereafter, we'll come back to the dance. Thank you. Media, over to you.
This is the biography of Mama Dcns OSAGIEDE in Idehen. Late Mama Dcns OSAGIEDE was born in 1907 and slept in the Lord at the age of 118 years on the 18th of June 2025. IYENOKUA, as she was popularly called by all, beautiful and graceful, grew up in Idehen in Orion local government area of Edo State, where she met and married a man in the Nigerian army, Mr. Jackson OSAGIEDE. The union was blessed with 5 children before the untimely death of her husband in 1956. This tragedy was followed shortly with the loss of the last born from the union. Idehen later remarried and was blessed with 4 more children. IYENOKUA was a renowned cook whose delicious cooking prowess led those who had the opportunity of eating our food with a long-lasting memory. Idehen's generosity and kindness was her hallmark. Idehen can never hear of a family going hungry and didn't empty her pots and pantry to feed them. Every child that families are away to Idehen's house will always live with a full stomach, whether the child was family or not. When Idehen ventured into farming, the harvest was for all. She would pay for the laborers to help her clear and plant, then gather struggling mothers and take them to the farm to harvest the cassava. She would pay for the processing herself and only take what she needed and give the rest to the women for their families, and with some money to make soup as well. Idehen was known and loved for the truth and had space in her court for any of her to borrow huge money they never returned, because Idehen's heart could never say no to men who went through the storms of life and faced many battles. Yet through it all, she was ever grateful to God, who saw her through and turned all her trials into triumphs, and she was always ready to celebrate every success and wins of her family members and non-family members alike. Whether it is a wedding or a delivery of a newborn baby or graduation of a great-born child or a housewarming, Idehen was there to celebrate with everyone. IYENOKUA loved good food, and her favorite meal was salad. We cannot talk of Idehen's wonderful life without talking about her dramatic salvation experience. Though she was born to a believer father who died when she was barely 6 years old, IYENOKUA was raised by unbelieving relatives, and she continued in idol worship till her dramatic encounter with God in 1992 in a revival program organized by the New Covenant Gospel Church, headed by Papa Felix Omoguye. He was invited by her daughter, Dcns, who is a member of the church, to go with her and her children to that particular evening's revival service, and encouraged her to come along with her prayer requests. During the prayer that evening, led by Reverend Ezekiel of CPM over the prayer bus, she suddenly saw that the roof of the church cathedral was lifted, and saw an open sky from which a pure white dove came down and landed on the prayer bus. This was the turning point of Iye's life. At the end of the service, Iye told her daughter and granddaughter that God was in the church because she had seen him. By the next morning, Iye was dressed and ready to go to church because she couldn't wait to experience God like she did the nights before, only to be told that the service was going to be in the evening. By the third day, Iye was a brand new believer who wanted nothing to do with the idols in our house, and told her daughter to get her pastors to come and sweep the garbage, that is, the idols, as she then called them, away from her house. When the pastors came, she brought out your money bag and everything that is an idol to be burnt. She had the room she had kept for idol worship repainted and rented it out. Till the first rent paid 20 naira, bought chicken and cooked rice and stew, and invited everyone in the neighborhood to come eat and celebrate with her. And the room she had wasted for garbage is now being put to a good use. Iye was not one to hide her salvation. She was ready to let everyone know that it is so sweet to serve the Lord. Even when those she used to serve idols together with her and asked her who would be protecting her family, she was quick to tell them that it is so sweet to serve Jesus, and no other protection and protector like the Lord Jesus. The fire and the zeal burned up in Iye so much that she joined the royal ambassador, that is the prayer warrior of the church. And Iye will be in church to pray whether it was their meeting day or not minding her age as a grandmother then. Iye was ordained a deaconess in the New Covenant Gospel Church by Felix Omoguye. And Iye was a member of the second branch of New Covenant Gospel Church, the Family Worship Center, till she was too old to leave the house, but still remained a member.
Oh, that was a very touching one. Very wonderful one. I hope I hear what in the talk for the biography. Because of that, I don't learn. I listen to the biography carefully. And I come discover, say, I have discovered another recipe for long life. Outside salvation. Number one, that's salvation. Then number two, that's salad. They say, mommy best food, na salad. No wonder Iye fresh. No wonder Iye fine like that. So now, salad is another recipe after salvation for a long life. Wow. Please, can we celebrate Iye once again? Celebrate Iye once again. Thank you. Thank you. We understand that you are eating and we're just going to give you some minutes to enjoy your meal. Please be rest assured that it will go around. There is enough for you to eat, to drink, and to even take home by the grace of God. Also, I now discover that no matter your status in life, if they not serve you food for party, you will feel offended. They will just go as though they complain, say you not talk. Say that they look alike and because you not chop, but relax. From here today, everything will go round. So please, once again, I'll give you time to enjoy your meal. And before we take over to the dance, finally, meanwhile, I'll leave you in the same hands of this wonderful band, the Grace Band, led by Saint Wisdom. To just kindly entertain us for a few minutes while I prep the children for the dance hereafter. Thank you so much, all friends and well-wishers are very excited dance. God bless you. the floor right now. Dcns Rose Ojo is the song to dance. Dcns Rose Ojo, please, you have a song. It's the song of the first man to dance. And all friends are welcome to dance. Ojo, please. Can you get down on the floor? Dcns Rose Ojo, yeah. It's a song now. Thank you.